Hi, everyone. So let's do a What Are You Manifesting spread. I like to do these about once a week because it's a good idea to check in on our manifestations. We're always manifesting whether we know it or not. We're manifesting on a subconscious level unless we are consciously manifesting. For those of you who are consciously manifesting, it's always a good idea to check in to make sure that those things are coming in so that way we can pivot if we need to. So I'd like to start by rolling a zodiac sign. And this is not because this is your sign, but it's a good idea just to check in with the energies that are around us and what we should be working with. So we rolled Scorpio. And Scorpio is a water sign. It's a very emotional sign, but it's also about purification. It can sometimes be about secrets. I'm also getting an energy that you're being protected right now. Something about your home and being protected, but we'll see if any of that comes out in the cards. So if there's anything going on surrounding your home or your personal life, things of that nature that you are feeling a little bit uneasy about, there is a message coming through that you're being protected. So these two came out. One says, "Here we go," and the other one says, "Taking for granted." So we'll take both of those and see how they play in. So it could be that you're in a relationship. The "here we go" is making me think that there is some kind of repetitive pattern, some kind of loop that perhaps this relationship or a relationship is in, and that perhaps there is an element of someone taking you for granted. So whether this is a love relationship, a work relationship, I was getting something about your home life. So it does feel like more like it's a personal relationship. Maybe someone's been taking you for granted and you feel like that's on repeat. But let's see what the tarot wants to tell us. So we have Page of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the Sun. Underneath, the Hermit, Two of Swords, Six of Wands, Page of Wands, Two of Wands. Underneath everything is the Queen of Swords. And for those of you who have been watching my channel for a while now, you'll notice that every once in a while, my readings turn into channeling from the other side. And so I do think that there is a message trying to come through from a passed on loved one. So we're going to see where this reading goes, but I do get the sense that there is a passed on loved one of yours who is sending a message through the cards right now. So with the Queen of Swords being underneath the deck, I do get the impression that this is a person who was a very clear communicator when they were here in your life. And they also, I'm getting the sense that they didn't take anyone's BS. They were a very no-nonsense kind of a person, but they were also very fair and they were very balanced. I'm also getting the sense that they knew how to get things done. I just got that. So, oh, wow. Okay. Well, these cards all wanted to flip out, and they did flip out. Judgment, Ace of Swords, 10 of Cups. Wow, those are some pretty powerful cards. And I also saw Two of Cups here underneath too, and Justice. So for some of you, this is not going to be for everybody, but for some of you, this was someone that you had a romantic relationship with. Perhaps you were even married and had children with this person. So make that make sense for you, but this feels like a very strong message that's wanting to come through. So let's put our Queen of Swords back on the bottom so we can look at that. So, okay. So going back to this feeling that perhaps you are in some kind of a cycle with someone who might be taking you for granted. it feels like with the Hermit card here, it feels like this person's message to you is to do some kind of a deep dive, to really look at this relationship and figure out if this is really for you or not, and if this needs to be purified in some way. I'm getting a sense with all of these cards over here and with this person who's trying to send a message through, I'm getting a sense that you're in the middle of a storm. You're in the middle of some kind of chaos, because it's almost like I can hear someone saying, oh, here we go again, where this feeling that you're really getting to the point where you can't take it anymore. And it might be about a person taking you for granted. And so I do feel like this person is coming through to advise you with the Hermit to really find the calm within that storm. And I just saw 555 as I said that, to really find the calm within that storm so you can sort out everything that's going on around you and not get caught up in the chaos. But let's see what else is coming through. So I feel like when your person was here, even though they were a no-nonsense kind of person, they could also be very loving and very playful with this Page of Cups energy. Like, I do get the sense that this person was really fair and understood things and really could cut through to people's truths, and therefore had an easy time connecting with them. But I also think with this Two of Swords that even though they knew what was fair and balanced, they didn't take sides. In other words, they weighed out the options and they could connect to people. They didn't take sides. They were always just very fair. I'm just getting a sense of a lot of diplomacy with this person. So if this is going to help you know who we're talking about. I think that when they were here, some of the lessons that they learned were to understand that things take time. And I think that that's what we're getting from this is you might be taking something for granted in a situation that might be driving you crazy. And that it feels like this person is coming through to tell you that this is just going to take time. But it feels like whatever this is that you're dealing with is ultimately going to be successful, but that it's just going to take time. And they learned that when they were still here, that even the most tumultuous, oh, here we go again types of things can sometimes just be part of the lessons that we're learning while we're here. And that it might just be that there's something that you have to express in this situation to this person that you're dealing with, but yet you have to take this deep dive into yourself first to find out what that is, what it is you're supposed to express to this person. And that even if you feel like whatever this situation is where you're not getting the clarity that you need because you feel like you're in the middle of a storm, this person is coming through to say that you have spent a lot of emotional effort and time in this situation, and you are being supported probably by this person who's coming through. But again, this Six of Wands is saying that it's okay that you've spent or invested emotionally so much, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that there is something that's going to come out of this that you're going to recognize. So whether it's a recognition that this person is actually for you or this situation is for you, but you had to get to the lesson, or it could be that you recognize it for what it is. But either way, it's not a bad investment because you learned something from the situation. But what I'm getting is you really have to learn that by doing a deep dive into your own consciousness, your own soul. So I think that this person, when they were here, they wished that they had been less harsh and more loving is what I'm getting. So if you felt like this person was kind of cold towards you, or even though they were fair and balanced, they didn't always express the love that they had for you, and they wish that they had done that. I think that they were and are a very intuitive person, but they didn't trust their intuition enough is what I'm getting. With the Queen of Cups and the Two of Swords, it's telling me that they really used their thinking mind instead of their intuition, and they wish that they had done that more when they were here, that they were able to understand their triggers better or other people's triggers better, and that when their own life had a bunch of turmoil in it, like it looks like perhaps you're going through, they're asking you to really use your intuition. Don't use your thinking mind. Don't overthink it. Use your intuition, because that's the thing that's going to guide you in the right direction with this Page of Wands. That's what I really have from that here. And that the Page of Wands is saying, do something different. Don't do the thing that you've always done with this person or this situation. The Page of Wands tries something new. And so I think your person, or this person, this passed on person, is really saying to you, use your intuition to try something new when it comes to this situation. And it starts with using your own intuition to look deep into your own soul and see what that looks like. And so I am getting here that the advice from this person with the Sun and the Two of Wands is saying that the happiness, the joy with the Six of Wands and the Sun, that feeling of liberation from all of this and understanding the answer to what this lesson is that you're meant to learn in this situation, it comes from a change of plans. And that's what the Two of Wands is. The Two of Wands is about understanding that there's a different way to do something. It's a way of trying again and starting over in a new direction. So what I'm getting from this in whole, I believe for most of you, this is saying for this situation that if you feel like you're in a loop with someone and you're getting really frustrated with it, it's to try again in a new direction. For a few of you, it's going to mean trying again in a new direction by releasing this. But I do get the sense, because I was feeling like this is a home life situation. For some of you, this could be about your children. For some of you, because I'm seeing two pages. For some of you, this could be someone that you live with. This could be a spouse. Make it make sense for you, a family member, because I am seeing two cups cards. And when I see cards of the same suit, I often think they're family members. Make it make sense for you, but it feels like the relationship that's in so much turmoil for you is a very important one. And so it's asking you to look at it in a different way, to go in a different direction. Try something else with this person, because there is success that's possible with the Sun and the Six of Wands. So I'd like to get some more tarot, because I'd like to see more about you in this situation and maybe what you can focus on, what your challenges are. Let's see. So you're showing up as the Death card. So I do feel that whatever this situation is here, that you have a desire to change it. I believe that you are changing on a deep level with the Death card. I do get the sense that you understand that you have the ability to change the direction of this. So I feel like for a lot of you with the Hermit and Death, it feels like you've already considered making a change for the better with whatever this situation is. And that I feel like this reading for you is just confirmation. And there's someone on the other side who's trying to get through to you to say, yeah, this relationship has the potential to really change for the better, but it's how you're approaching it. It has to be, you can't just do the same things and expect it to change. You have to change at a deep level with the Hermit and Death. And once you do that, then the relationship can take on a whole new direction. So let's see what else the tarot wants to tell us. So there's the Tower, Five of Cups, and the Magician. I like that. And there's the Six of Wands again at the bottom. So this is confirming that there is a lot of potential inspired action that is behind this, and that it can have a lot of success. This relationship that you're dealing with can be successful, but it's just the way you're going about it, it looks like. The Tower here is in the position of what you should focus on. And so I do think that when everything comes crumbling down, like it feels like it does, and it feels like it happens over and over in this relationship, it's that here we go again relationship. This person is taking me for granted again, or make it make sense for you that you just feel like you just want to burn it all down and not deal with it anymore. The Five of Cups in your challenge position is telling me that if you completely abandon this relationship because you're just tired of it going the same way, with the Five of Cups is saying that you might regret that. You might regret losing this person because it feels like it's a really important relationship, which is why I think this person is coming through for someone today to say that this relationship is far too important for you to just walk away from it because you're frustrated. And then I like that the advice here is coming through as the Magician and we originally set the intention of this reading to be a manifestation reading, but it does feel like there is an element of manifestation still coming through here because it's this idea that you can continue to manifest this person in the way that you want, this relationship in the way that you want, but to get really clear about what that is. And the Page of Wands and the Two of Wands are about getting clear about how you see the future and how you see this connection going. And so, especially with this Five of Cups, because I keep being drawn to it, there's this idea that your own heart has to heal. So perhaps it's healing from this person that you lost, that you're still you might have a very closed heart space when it comes to whoever this person is, that is preventing you from opening your heart fully to whoever this person is. And it might be creating problems in this relationship, whatever that is for you. But you'll make it make sense for you because you'll know exactly what this is. So I do get the sense that there is some heart healing that perhaps needs to happen here for you, especially with this coming in with the Queen of Cups, where you can really use your intuition to figure out the new way to go and not overthink it. Think with your heart, in other words. Think with your intuition on what can you do differently or more compassionately towards this person to try to change this for the better. So the handshake popped out, and this is about coming to some kind of an agreement, some kind of compromise, which is what we were just saying, that there might be a more compassionate way to be more Queen of Cups and less Queen of Swords with this relationship, if that applies to you. So let's get some big picture oracle cards to see what else we can find out. So there's the Tower, the Coffin, and the Safe. And underneath everything is the Snake. And the Snake can be about finding a new way around something. And that's what we've been saying. We've been saying that this needs to take a new direction, that the direction this has been going in, it just doesn't feel like it's the right way. It's not really manifesting in the way that you want it to. And it feels like you're looping around and around in a very frustrating energy. So the Coffin is saying that, yes, this must come to an end, just like the Death card. This loop that you're in this relationship is really overplayed itself, and that it's time to do something different. The Tower is a card of meditation, and the Safe is a card of protection. And so I do think that this is just another message from your person here who is saying that if you do a deep dive, like we were saying with the Hermit, you will get the answers you need in order to protect this relationship. So it really comes from looking in your intuition, using your third eye probably, and opening your heart space and think with your heart and not with your head when it comes to this. And you might just surprise yourself with the creative solutions you could come up with. So, but because we're talking about our heart space and now perhaps the third eye space, I would like to look at your chakras to see if there's anything that wants to come through from this Queen of Swords person to help you with your energetic energy, your energetic health. So we have Solar with Critical and Earth Star with Depressed. And there's the heart chakra with Inflexible. And I was getting that it feels like your heart chakra might be a bit closed off. And it might have to do with the loss of this person, that this person is telling you it's time to open that back up. But I think with the solar plexus is the one I would really like to focus on, because that word critical is really drawing my attention. And I feel like with this word critical is making me think that the same thing that this Queen of Swords is telling me, that one or both of you in this situation is being too hard on each other, that you could be being too critical with this person, or they could be too critical with you. And with a balanced solar plexus, that's where your confidence and your self-esteem comes from. And so oftentimes we're very critical of other people, regardless of which side that's on, when we're not feeling good about ourselves. And so this solar plexus in this card is a very light yellow color. I don't know how well it's going to come through in the recording, but I would like to see the solar more of a really bright yellow color, like more like this color here. See how these yellows are so different and this is so much brighter? I would prefer to see your solar plexus more of that color, which just means adding a little more light and opening it up a little bit. So if you're interested in a free Reiki healing for your solar plexus, then I will link one in the comments and in the description. That can be yours and you can use that anytime you want. But also in the Raise Your Vibe in 5 book, there's a whole section for the solar plexus. And so I just randomly opened up to a page for the solar plexus, but there's a whole section on it. But the exercise for this day says, close your eyes and visualize a still body of water. Imagine there isn't a ripple in the water and hold that image in your mind for 5 minutes. So that's a really good way to help your solar plexus and to let light into that, is to picture things in your mind and holding those images. And the stiller, the better, which is why it's nice to visualize a body of water, because if we can hold that image still, it really helps to allow light into all of our chakras, but specifically the solar. So, but again, if you're interested in that Reiki healing for your solar plexus, it's going to be in the pinned comment and in the description. So, wow. So that is a message from a passed on loved one. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.